Whoa! How interesting. Just look at that. Oh dear! Oh my. Fascinating. I never suspected such things could be. Attempting shutdown. It's not.
Hello viewers, this is Indonesia Mr. Zobler. And welcome to another gold video. Well, people, I think it's that time again, to make new tools or weapons for the game. Man, it's been 2 years since I added new original weapons to the game, plus now I also wanted this new tool that had my interest, and now it has my attention. Now, without gaming in, let's get started. Alright, watchers, before we begin our development. First, what I want to do is make a new place that is different from the original game and name it
Test Chamber.
The reason was so I could comfortably make and test the weapon in this place without any death penalties or even lag. Yes, there's lag in the original place. After some RNS migration, I began drawing some designs for the weapons, and here are the final results. Ignore this, because it is not our top priority to add this. For now. Alright, we are going to make the heavy axe first, by adding a box, making it thin, duplicating it, and turning it into a triangle with a 90 degree in the middle, to acute angles on these sides with 35 degrees on this, and 55 degrees on this, and with that, we can determine the length on these sides using this formula. Furthermore, after we found the length for the both sides, we can now use the Pythagorean theorem to determine the length for this angle. With all that being calculated, we've finally made an axe's blade. Then I add the wooden handle, the axe's butt, and finally make the axe's blade more sharp. After some simple coloring, we moved on to the most fun one. After the modeling phase was done, we moved on to the welding the weapon to the rig, so I can manually move the pose with the help of easing to look like it was moving. Alright, while I was animating in the background, let me tell you a bit about the lore behind the name of this weapon. Portable and lightweight. Quick and efficient in various environments. Allowed for more powerful shots with less recoil, making it a more effective weapon in combat situations. The LPFU is a generic handgun with a slight special changes. LPFU, or the Lightweight Portable Firearm Unit, is the first weapon ever developed by the Stratanium Industries. It was modeled by the co-founder of that company, Pure Fetchery. It was made in need of replacement of the old handgun, which was inefficient in killing the target, and the lack of resources to make the ammo during the Great War of the Northern Ice and the Southern Sea. The design was pretty simple, taken from the classic old handgun frame, with the grip, the slide, and the trigger guard. But what was more special than the old handgun was the extension. The reserved energy extension stores what's called stratonium plasma energy in a small chunk of this extension. Stratonium plasma energy, or SPEN, was used to recharge or reload the ammo that had been used, with an additional 5 reserved ammo to use in an emergency reload. Also, there is blast energy, when the reserved ammo is never used, hitting the target to a level of not standing up again. The Received Energy Indicator, or EE, will alert the holder if either the blast energy or the ammunition were used. Oh, it's done. Alright. After finishing the animation and the lore telling, I uploaded it, made some local script, and tested it. It seems like the jump and fall animation makes the LPFU on the side, which is not ideal when doing jump shooting. After some simple fixing, we were done. Now we move on to the next one. Honestly, this heavy axe has no lore right now. I just add it in need of the use of other melee weapons. But unlike the LPFU, this weapon needs its own idle animation. Then, I started to make the first attack animation, which looked like this. And with some finishing up, we moved on to the second attack animation. At first, it was going well, but then when making the impact, the hit, or the final blow pose, it's confused me. So, I decided to continue it tomorrow.
NANI?!
After the animating phase was done, next we got to the most brutal phase of all time. Subsequently, I forgot to record. I was thinking of just stealing the entire code lines from the bamboo runcing and electric rings. So, with some copying, pasting, and changing here and there, we do a little testing. It surprisingly works.
It looks like it's all working properly. I actually think we've made something functional here.
While that was over, I took a break a bit by changing my attention to the anti-gravitational velocity tool, or AGV for short. Remember from the previous devlog? It pretty much gives me an idea for the next weapon or tool addition update. Yeah, this was the time. And I will use the model from the XAW02 because that's the only way to make this glitch or bug work. While also adding a caution screen, inspired by the Henry Stickman. After a little bit of scripting. While playing around with AGV was fun. Next up was scripting the LPFU. As with the heavy axe, I just stole the code lines from the launcher. But then, the moment I hit the touched event, it paralyzed me. In short, after some research, some testing, some adding instance values, and some bug fixing, I just wrote these simple lines of code. It works fine, for me. After some complicating bugs that weren't worth my time, I began making some changes to the base station menu. Like moving the launcher and XAW02 to the base station, adding the heavy axe and the AGV tool, and making the LPFU to start a weapon. Also, the cost of these weapons was shown on the screen. After all that was done, I began testing, did some little bug fixing, and finally released the update.